Hey everyone! This math video is going to serve as Thursday and Friday's math review because I have our resources for subtraction. We're starting subtraction today and really going to work on that today, tomorrow, and hopefully into the weekend if you guys can. So I have all of our resources and our poems, and I'm going to go over these, review these poems with you, make sure that you still understand them and know them. I'll give a couple examples on this sheet so you can watch me. And then I would like you guys Thursday and Friday to practice. I might upload a specific assignment on Thursday and Friday for math, or I might just have you come up with your own numbers and practice. So whatever is on portfolio is what I'll have you do. So with subtraction, we'll start with our easiest poem. It says, number is the same, 0 is the game. So we have 68 minus 28. Where do we always start? In our ones place. Good. So I have 8 minus 8. So if we have 8 and we take away 8, 0. 0 is the game. So 40 or 0. And then you come over to the tens and just subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. Good. This is probably the easiest subtraction one we have. When the number is the same, 0 is the game. The next one, which is the easier one, but sometimes we get them confused. This poem is more on the top, no need to stop. So we have 97 minus 45. Our ones are lined up, our tens are lined up, and we're always going to start where? In the ones place. Good. So I see both numbers and I see 7 on the top, and 7 is more. So if we have 7, can we take away 5? Yes, we can. How many do we have left? 2. So that's not a problem. More on top, no need to stop. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And then you're going to pop over to your tens place. 9 minus 4 is 5. Good. And remember, a really cool way to check your work is to go back up using addition. That can be tricky sometimes, but so if we would do 2 plus 5, does it equal 7? Okay, then we know our answer is right. What about 5 plus 4? What's that equal? 9. Then we know we're right. So it's a way to check your answer. If you don't want to do that right now, you don't have to, but it is a good way to check. So more on top, no need to stop, just subtract. This is where it can get a little tricky. You guys caught on so well when we learned this. You really did. I was really proud of you guys. You worked hard, but we only got to do it for a couple weeks. So I'm hoping that it's still in your brain. This last poem says more on the floor. You have to go next door and borrow 10 more. Or the one that Mrs. Hoy taught us, if the bottom's bigger, you better borrow. So we have 53 minus 16. But when I'm just looking in my ones place, there's a 3 on the top and a 6 on the bottom. So it's saying 3 minus 6. So if I have 3, can I take away 6? I cannot. I can only take away 3. So you have to go over next door to the tens place, and then this 5, you take a 10 away from it, so it becomes a 4. So 50, because that's what this place value is, 50 would become 40. So we put our 4, and then we add, we usually put it right here, this 1 in front of the 3, and then that would make this number 13. And then 13 minus 6 equals 7. And then we go over to our tens, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So again, this one's not hard, but a lot of our friends, when we're just learning how to do this, some of the problems I remember we were having is some of my friends were doing 3 minus 6. They were kind of going backwards. They were like, okay, well, 6 minus 3 is 3. And they would put a 3 down here. But remember, that's not how it works. If the bottom is bigger, you have to borrow. And you borrow from the tens. Like I said, we are pretty good at this, so I'm hoping that it's still up in your brain, and we're just going to really practice and make sure that you're using your poems. So I will try and upload these into Dojo so you can have them. And if you have a computer and a printer, maybe you guys could actually even print these out so you have them. This next part, I'm going to show you using paper and pencil, well, marker and paper. What are the things I want you to be doing to practice? Because there's a specific way to do it. So I'm going to put these back and get out my paper. Okay, so remember when we're subtracting, I'm going to face this way so you can see. There we go. Remember, when we're subtracting, you can't just write the numbers down that you're thinking, because the biggest number needs to be on top. And how we make that happen is we pick two numbers. So maybe let's pick 55 and 42. Now, which one of those are bigger? What's the bigger number? 55 is bigger, so that one has to go on top. So 55 minus 42. My ones are lined up, my tens are lined up, so I'm ready. I said minus and I put a addition symbol. So minus. So 5 minus 2, if I look at these numbers, is my number on top bigger? Yes, it is. More on top, no need to stop. So 5 minus 2 is 3. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. So my answer is 13. So we're going to do another one. I'm going to pick two numbers. I'm going to pick 61 and 45. So which one is my bigger number? Because that has to go on top. 61 is bigger. So 61 minus 45. Okay, they're lined up and ready to go, but I have to look at my two numbers. I have a 1 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. So my bottom is bigger, which it is. I have to borrow. So I'm going to make this 6 a 5. I'm going to add the 1 that I borrowed right in front of my number. And my number 11, and my number becomes 11. And then 11 minus 5, 6. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. So remember, when you're doing subtraction, you have to put your two numbers out and circle the biggest number, because that has to go on the top. Sometimes if you forget to do that, your bigger number will be on the bottom of your problem, and then it doesn't work like that. So pick two numbers and then put your biggest number on the top and then subtract. Remember our poems. There's 3 of them. Number is the same, 0 is the game. More on top, no need to stop. And our last one is if the bottom is bigger, you better borrow. Okay, go next door and carry 10 more. So, like I said, we were getting so good at that. I think it's still up in your brains. You just got to practice. If you practice the right way with choosing two numbers and then making sure your bigger number's on top, you guys will do a great job. So, Thursday and Friday, I want you to go on Portfolio, and I'll have something for you for math to complete. But once this comes Friday, I'm going to link this again for Friday, just to review. So after Friday, you'll be done for the week, and we got through our first week of online learning, of true online learning. And I think next week it'll be even better, because I'm going to go back to the curriculum. I'm going to be able to assign things a little bit easier. It'll be more academic and learning and trying to review some more things. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys have a really good weekend. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice out, so I'm happy about that. And I will see you on Monday for morning announcements. Have a good weekend.